Assalamualaikum. Okay, my name is Adila Hazira binti Jamlin. For my title research is motivation are the main factor of driving performance in netball. So for the next slide, we can see for the background of the study. I will read for the first point is the root of all netball athlete efforts and achievement is motivation, and all of the other mental consideration, trust, strength, concentration and emotion are meaningless without motivation and dedicate to better sport result. For motivation is so important is that it's the only contributor to the success of sport they have influence. So now we can go through to the slide number 2, which is statement of problem. First, lack of motivation will affect to the performance. So we can see that motivation is very important to driving power of performance in netball players. Certain coach has their own favoritism between the athletes of netball. This can be the one of the factor that athlete lack of motivation. All the athletes need positive words from their coach. So coach is the main attraction to the athletes because without coach, the athletes are nothing. So we go through to the slide number 3, which is research objective. For the first objective is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation that can drive athletes to achieve their goals. So intrinsic is what is in ourselves, the words from ourselves. For the extrinsic is such as rewards, family support, coach support, friend support. That's all is extrinsic. So I need to see that between these two, is it possible that the motivation can drive athlete to achieve their goals. For the research objective number 2 is to determine whether the significant relationship between extrinsic motivation and performance in netball. So we can see that either the rewards, family support, coach support, motivation give a big impact in every athlete. So the purpose behind everything we do is a motivation. It instills in us a target-oriented action. So no matter what we do, from working out in the morning to climbing mountain, and every step is a result of inspiration. So for the next slide is significance of study. For the first point is target-oriented action. So for research design, so this case study method is used because it will suit to respond accurately and adequately to the research question. Case study are chosen because the study focus mainly on defining and explaining rather than forecasting, and the study variable is easily unidentifiable or embedded in the phenomenon to be abstract for study. So for the data collection procedure, we have two ways, which is primary data and secondary data. For the primary data, we can I use for video conferencing, telephone interview, personal interview, both. And for the secondary data is seek information related to this topic from secondary data, which is book, past research, internet, and any other source that can be trusted. So for the instrumentation, there is 3 instruments that will be used, which is questionnaire survey, questionnaire design, and pilot studies. For the primary data collection method, that be used is questionnaire because it can help us to get initial data from selected respondent. So the reason we choose questionnaire survey as it is more economically and much easier way to collect data from large number of sample size. The data collect back from questionnaire survey is important to represent the validity of our from the hypothesis. Moreover, that researcher decide to use questionnaire survey because the data collected from respondents are much easier to analyze and to interpret. For the questionnaire design, this is to ensure understanding the respondents survey of questionnaire in a short period. So the questionnaire setting will be straightforward and concise. So for data collection, the data collection procedure, there are 5, which is data checking, data editing, data coding, data transcribing, and data cleaning. So data checking is the first step of data processing. For this step, it helps to check whether is there a missing answer in the questionnaire or not, because omission of answer in the questionnaire will make our reliability test result not reliable. For data editing, this part is all the questionnaire will be reviewed to see whether there is an incomplete or inconsistent answer or not. The purpose of data editing is to make adjustment to those data with missing answer and has more than one answer in one question. For data coding is a process that assign code to represent an answer in the questionnaire. Commonly, numerical symbol will be used to code those specific answer. Once the response has been encoded and entered into the database, the SPSS software will be conducted. For the data transcribing, this will be the last step in data processing. This process will transform all the data that collect into the computer software data. So the researcher will transcribe all the coded collected data from our respondent into SPSS. For the data cleaning is the process that checking and identifying the missing data. Consistency is checking by using SPSS program to find out which data is out of the research objective or useless in the study. Missing data is stated as unknown value because the respondent did not provide clearly the answer. So for the last is data analysis. So this will use SPSS statistical tools, which is version 20, to analyze the data that are being collected. So the significance will be set as p smaller than 0.05 with alpha equal is 0.05. So that's all for me. Thank you.